Hello students, it's very good to see you all of you once again. As in the previous class we have discussed a lot of things about our class 9 topic of the class 9. Today student we are here to discuss the property, the topic of the congruency of the triangle. We will discuss it today. So before going to the topic of the congruency of the triangle student, let us see what is the congruency, what is the meaning of congruence, what is the meaning of the congruent figure, what is the meaning of the congruency. Okay, suppose student, in mathematics the figure are said to be congruent if they have equal length, if they have the measurement of the corresponding angles are equal. Suppose let us take an example different from the mathematics. You might have seen the twins brothers. In the twins brother we have seen, suppose in my hand you are just observing that there are two chalks are there, each of which is of a same length, its length is same. Let us consider the diameter, the radius of the end of this chalk be the same in the both the cases. In that case we can say that both the chalks are congruent. Okay, means a figure to be a congruent it must have equal length, means equal shape and size, and their corresponding angle must be equal. Okay, now here we are to discuss about the triangle. In the triangle student there are two terms. One is your congruency, and second one is your similarity. So for the congruency we have got the sign like this. This is the symbol for the congruency and this is the symbol for the similarity. This we have to discuss in student class 10, and this is the topic of our class 9. So here we are to discuss the property of the congruency, not the property of the similarity. But we will learn what is the difference between the congruency and what is the difference between the similarity. Okay. So for the congruency we are given the four theorems. They are namely written as SAS. Second one is written as ASA. A corollary is derived from the ASA itself, that is your AAS. Okay, third one is your SSS, and fourth one is your student RHS. Means S stand for side, A stand for angle, and again S stand for side. Similarly, angle, side, angle, side, right hypotenuse side. Okay, and in similarity we will come to know about AAA, angle, and similarly SAS and SSS. This property we have to study in the similarity, and this property we have to study in congruency. In the congruency it is said that the shape and size must be equal, but in case of the similarity the sides are taken proportional. Means we won't have to study this in class 9. So let it be end here. Let's end the topic of the similarity over here. We will continue with the congruency, and when we will come to our class 10 then we will see about the similarity. Okay, so let's see the topic of the congruency student. So in the congruency itself, first is your SAS. So we will see the theorem SAS. What does the SAS means? Here student, I have written two triangles are congruent. Two triangles are congruent if two sides and the included angle. Let us test the figure. Two triangle. Let it be a A, B, C, and let it be a second triangle D, E, F. Okay. Here we have taken two triangle. Now let's see the statement what it's trying to say. Two triangles are congruent if two sides, means two sides of one triangle to two sides of other triangle and the included angle between two sides. Suppose we take AB, that is equal to DE, and angle A equal to angle D, and AC equal to DF. Okay. So AB equal to DE, A equal to D, and AC equal to DF. So here student, two sides AB and DE, AC and DF, two sides are equal, and the included angle between them, that means angle A is between AB and AC, that is equal to angle D, that is between DE and DF. Means two triangles are congruent if the two sides and the included angle between them are equal to the two sides and the included angle of the other triangle, then the triangle is said to be congruent. Okay, so we have to prove it. How we will prove it? The student, for any proof, first of all we have to write the given, then we write to prove, and then we write construction if it's required, and then we go to the proof. So there I have already told you, in this proof we have got a statemental proof. In this question, in this theorem, we have a statemental proof. Means we have to just write it in a well defined manner. How we will see it. So in the given, what we write, whatever the content that is made available to us in the statement of the theorem, we write it there. So here in the given we have, in triangle ABC and triangle DEF, what we have? We have AB equal to DE, AC equal to DF, and included angle between them, angle A equal to angle D. Okay, so here it's equal. To prove, we have to prove triangle ABC congruent to triangle DEF. Okay, proof means here I am telling you student that we will follow the statemental proof. How? We have to nothing to worry, just we have to just see what we will do. We will take a triangle ABC. Suppose we have taken triangle ABC in our hand, and we will just place this triangle ABC over triangle DEF in such a way that A falls on D. The vertex A falls on D. We will write it that. Let us place triangle ABC over triangle DEF such that A falls on D. A falls on D. Since angle A equal to angle D, it's given. Since angle A is equal to angle D, means A has falls on D, and angle A is equal to D, then AB will fall along D. When we will place this triangle over triangle DEF, A will falls on D and AB will fall on DE in such a way that D coincides with E. Means AB will fall on DE, that means B will coincide with E, Okay, B will overlap E. Okay. Similarly, for the next statement, we will write student. Similarly, AC will fall on. AC will fall on DF, then C will coincides with F. Similarly, AC will fall on DF. That means C will coincide with F. Since, yeah, therefore, BC will coincide with EF. Since we have kept triangle ABC over DEF, and we have observed that since A has coincided with a D, that means AB will coincide along DE, AC will coincide along DF, that means BC will also overlap EF completely. So what it's been observed? It's been observed that each part of triangle DEF is completely, it gets covered by triangle ABC. Means ABC covers triangle DEF completely. We can write the same statement. Therefore, triangle ABC covers triangle DEF completely. Since the two figures coincide each other, then we can say that the figures are congruent, and here therefore triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Here we can write proof. So this is the way, student, we can prove this theorem, especially because this is a theorem which states that two figures are congruent, two triangles are congruent if two sides and the included angle between them are equal to the other two sides and included angle of the other triangles, and the triangles are congruent. So in this way we can prove this statement, prove this theorem. One more, student, a single term is there. Let us show you a very wide word that is used in this statement, that is your CPCT. You will see that CPCT, the term word is used. What does the CPCT stands for? It means corresponding part of congruent triangle. Corresponding part of congruent triangle. CPCT stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangle. When two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding parts are equal. Means what? The side that is equal, the side which is on the equal of the opposite angle, the side which are equal on the equal angles. See how? Corresponding parts of the congruent triangle. Suppose here angle A is equal to angle D. Means angle A is angle A equals angle D is given to us. Then the side opposite to the equal angles are equal. Side opposite to equal angles are equal. Means angle A equal to angle D. That means the side that is opposite to angle A is your BC. Then BC will equal to EF. When it will be happen? Only when the triangles are congruent. When the triangles are congruent, then the corresponding parts are equal. Means what? If the angle are equal, then the side opposite to equal angles are also equal, and when the sides are equal, suppose here AB is equal to DE. Okay, AB is equal to DE, then the angle opposite to this AB is your angle C, and AB, since AB equal to DE, then the angle opposite to this DE is your angle F. That means angle C equal to angle F. So this is the result of your CPCT, corresponding parts of the congruent triangle. It is only followed when the figures are congruent, when the triangles are congruent. So how we will take it? The angle which are equal, the side opposite to equal angles are equal, and the angle which are on the opposite of the equal sides, they are also equal. Okay, so by this, student, we have learned about the congruency criteria of SAS. We will follow up the next theorem in our next class. Till then, student, take care. Bye bye. Have a good day.